All right, welcome everyone. If you're ready to take your first real step into the world of programming, or maybe just level up your skills, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving headfirst into C++, and this is going to be your launchpad.
So let's just kick things off with this. Why even start with C++? Well, as BroCode puts it so perfectly, it's fast. Like really fast. And look, that isn't just a cool feature, it's the absolute core identity of the language. But what does fast actually mean when we're talking about computers?
So, to really get what fast means, let's break it down. Think of it this way. A native language like C++ is like a book that's been perfectly translated into German for a German speaker. They can just pick it up and read it instantly, no delay. But a language that uses a virtual machine is more like having a live interpreter who has to translate an English book, sentence by sentence, on the fly. It works, sure, but there's always that little bit of lag. C++ cuts out that middleman entirely. It speaks the computer's native language, giving you maximum performance.
So, now that we know why C++ has this reputation for being a speed demon, here's our quest map for today. First, we'll cover a few more reasons why you'd want to learn it. Then, we'll meet the essential tools of the trade, the compiler and the IDE. After that, we'll walk through a high-level guide to getting set up, and finally, we'll write our very first program. Let's get to it.
First up, why should you invest your time and energy into learning C++? Well, simply put, it is the language of power and performance. It's what people use to build some of the most demanding, high-stakes software on the planet.
And you can see that power everywhere. We're talking about the incredible graphics engines behind the latest video games, the heavy-duty software in Adobe's Creative Suite, even the very core of operating systems we use every day. Or think about the tiny, efficient computer running inside your car. Yeah, if something needs to be ridiculously fast and efficient, chances are C++ is the engine running under the hood.
Okay, so you've written your C++ masterpiece, but how does the computer, this hunk of silicon and metal, actually understand it? For that, you need a very special kind of translator. In the world of programming, we call this a compiler.
So here's the bottom line. A compiler is just a program, but it's a super important one. It takes the code you write, which, looks kind of like English, and it translates it into the only language the computer's CPU really gets, machine code. It's the critical bridge between your human brain and the computer's hardware.
And the whole process, it's actually pretty simple when you look at it. Step 1, you write your code in what's called a source file. For C++, that file always ends in .cpp. Step 2, you hand that file over to the compiler. Step 3, the compiler does its thing and spits out an executable file full of that low-level machine code. And that's it. That's the program your computer can actually run. Now, you need a place to do all this writing and compiling, right? You need a workshop. And in the programming world, that's your IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. I mean, sure, you could try to code using a simple text editor like Notepad, but that's like trying to build a car with just a wrench and a screwdriver. An IDE is like having a full garage. It bundles a smart text editor with all the other tools you need to write, build, and test your code. It is your all-in-one command center.
For beginners, there are two fantastic options, VS Code and Code Blocks. VS Code is insanely popular. It's super customizable, but, and this is a big but, you'll have to install a C++ compiler on your own. On the other hand, you've got Code Blocks. It's simpler and more focused. And here is a golden nugget of advice. If you go with Code Blocks, look for the download version that has MingGW setup in the name. Why? Because it comes with the compiler already packed in. It is by far the easiest way to get up and running.
All right, let's talk about getting set up. And don't worry, this isn't going to be a tutorial where I show you every single click. Instead, think of this as the high-level checklist, the big milestones you need to hit to get your workshop ready for action.
So here's your checklist. First, grab your IDE, pick VS Code or Code Blocks and get it installed. Second, you got to install a C++ compiler, unless you got that all-in-one Code Blocks version we talked about. Third, and this is important, you have to link them up. Basically, you just tell your IDE where to find that compiler. And last but not least, you create your very first project, make a new file ending in .cpp, and you are officially ready to write some code.
And here we are. This is the moment we've been building towards. Every single programmer's journey, no matter who they are or what they build, starts with this one ancient tradition, making the computers say hello. It's time to cast our first spell.
So this is it, the legendary Hello World program. I know, it might look a little intimidating at first with all the symbols and weird words, but trust me, we're going to break down every single piece of this puzzle so you know exactly what's going on.
Let's start right at the top with hashtag include IOStream. The easiest way to think about this is you're telling your program, hey, before we do anything else, I need you to grab the toolbox for input and output. This little line pulls in a standard C++ library that lets us do things like, you guessed it, print stuff to the screen.
Next up is int main. This is non-negotiable. It's the heart of every single C++ program. When you hit run, the computer immediately looks for this main function and starts executing whatever it finds inside those curly braces. It's the official starting line. And inside, we have the line that does all the magic. std, cout, context, hello world. That cout part comes from the IOStream toolbox we just included, and it literally just means character output. So we're telling it to send the text, hello world, to the console.
And finally, after our program has done its one job, it finishes with return 0. This is basically like giving the operating system a big thumbs up. It's you telling the computer, hey, everything went perfectly, no errors here. That 0 is the universal code for a successful run.
So, you've written the code. Now what? Well, the final step is to click that magic button in your IDE that probably says Build and Run. First, it builds, which is just that compiling step, turning your code into machine code. Then it runs it. And if everything is right, a little black box, the console window, is going to pop up, and right there you'll see your words, Hello World.
And just like that, you've done it. You've taken your very first, most important step into this huge, incredible world. You've got the map, you've got the basic tools, the journey from this simple hello world to building the next big video game or some powerful new application. It all starts right here, right now. So the only real question left is, what are you going to create?